course it would start absolutely torrentially raining. Hi everyone, I am back with my part 2 of my horror and thriller haul for this month. And what's that I hear you cry? Rosie, you just bought loads of new books. Yes, I know I bought a lot of books. I know I have a lot of books to read, but I mean, I love books. I just love them. I love them so much. So we're here again, you're here again, so I'm assuming you love books as much as I do. So this is a no judgment channel, okay? Let's not judge that I've bought loads of books. Let's not judge that I have more books. Let's not judge all of the books. And let's just get into it. The first book that I've got here to talk about is one that's been sent to me, and this is To the Lake, and this is by Jana Wagner, and this sounds like such an interesting premise. This is a book set in Moscow around the time of a pandemic, and I know pandemic literature isn't for everyone right now, and I understand that, but for me, I mean, it's just, I'm still here for it, to be honest. So this is about a violent flu epidemic that is sweeping all the way through Russia, and it has killed hundreds of thousands of people. So Anna and her husband Sergei decide that they're going to flee. They're going to flee Moscow, and they're going to flee to the top end, to the north of Moscow, to a lake. And the rest of the premise of the book is shrouded in a veil of subterfuge and mystery, because I don't know what it's about. And the press release that I was given didn't give me too much information. And on the back, where you normally would have your blurb, it literally just says a pandemic, a psychological thriller, a race to survive, 11 people, 3 cars and 1 destination. So I don't know what this is going to be about, but I mean, obviously I know it's about a pandemic and it's a thriller, so I'm going to guess not all goes well on this journey to the lake or when everyone arrives at the lake, and I'm here for it. It sounds fantastic, so I'm slotted in to review this in November, so I will be reading it very soon. The next one that I've got is another sort of pandemic-y type situation, and it is this one. This is Lockdown Abbey. Now, do you see the way they've done it there? Do you see what they've done there? They've used the Scottish lock. Very, very, very clever. Very clever. So this is a historical pandemic-y situation. This is set in the 1930s, and again we have a mysterious illness sweeping the country. But whereas the last book was in Moscow, this time we're in Scotland. It says it's 1930s and a mysterious illness is spreading over Scotland. But the noble and ancient family of Inverkillen, residents of Lockdown Abbey, are much more concerned with dwindling lavatory paper supplies and who will look after the children now that Nanny has regretfully and most inconveniently departed this life. Then Lord Inverkillen, Earl and head of the family, is found dead in mysterious circumstances. The inspector declares it must be an accident, but Mrs. McBain, the head housekeeper, isn't convinced. As no one is allowed in or out because of the illness, the residents of the house, both upstairs and downstairs, are the only suspects. With the Earl's own family too busy doing what can only be described as nothing, she decides to do some digging. In between chores, of course, and in doing so she uncovers a whole host of long hidden secrets, lies and betrayal that will alter the dynamics of the household forever. So this to me sounds a little bit tongue-in-cheek. I really like the design of the book, and it sounds fun, and it's set in Scotland, which we all know I do like a book set in Scotland. So I'm very excited to read this one. The next book that I've got, I bought into the hype. I've seen a lot of people reviewing it and loving it, so I bought The Castaways, and this is by Lucy Clark, and yeah, this sounds brilliant. About waking up on a beautiful remote desert island with lovely blue seas and white sands. However, it's no ordinary getaway because you are next to a crashed plane, and next to the crashed plane a stranger is pacing around, another one is sharpening a knife to carve the numbers of the dead into a tree. And it says others watch from the shadows of the campfire, all with untold stories and closely guarded secrets. I've read a few books that are set on islands where people have accidentally ended up all on an island, and it's usually quite a cataclysmic array of events. As we all know, this sort of thing is really my thing. I love it when nobody can escape and there's probably a murderer. Can't wait to read this and find out just who the castaways are. And like I say, I've seen high praise of this book over the summer, so I'm really looking forward to reading it. The final book that I've got is one that I'm extremely excited about. This is the 4th installment in the Stag series, and it's Tigers. I don't really know how much I can say about this book without giving away anything that happens in the previous 3. So this is the 4th in the series, in the Stag series, and I'll talk about the first book. The first book follows Greer, who has arrived in a prestigious school in the north of England, and she doesn't fit in. She doesn't fit in at all because she's not one of the prestigious elite. However, one day she receives an invite inviting her to a weekend of hunting, shooting and fishing, and it's set in one of the sprawling country estates of one of the top elite in the school. Despite the suspicious circumstances in being invited to this event, in which she hasn't really spoke to any of the people running it before, Greer decides to go, and what she finds there is just absolute horror, and it's extremely compelling, and I loved it. This series is a YA thriller series, but it's expertly done tigers, and I'm certain I'm going to love it just as much as I've loved the other three. So there we go, that is the last book in my horror and thriller haul, but don't dismay, because I did buy some other books that aren't horror and thriller books, and you're going to be seeing those ones next. As usual, let me know if you've read any of them, let me know if you're going to, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.